episode 509 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. I'll be talking about tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite with all the fallout from this past Sunday night's AEW Wrestle Dream pay-per-view, with the Dynamite debut of the Rated R superstar Adam Copeland, and more. Right here, right now, 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Hello, wrestling fanatics. Welcome to 360 Wrestling Fanatic. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Time to talk about tonight's all-new AEW Dynamite. I am your host, Lance Brock, on this Wednesday night. Hope everyone had a fantastic Wednesday today, and I am here to talk about tonight's all-new AEW Dynamite. Might not go too long. I might make this a little bit of a quick episode, but we start things off in the back with the remarkable Renee Young, with Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, who will be teaming up again tonight to take on the Don Callis family. Konosuke Takeshita and Aussie Open's Kyle Fletcher filling in for Sammy Guevara tonight. And then they are joined by the newest member of the AEW roster, the Rated R superstar Adam Copeland. Talks about all four of them being Canadians, and of course Adam Copeland and Chris Jericho, definitely no strangers, know each other very well. They shake hands, and then at this time, Kenny Omega makes a joke and tells Adam that he had him on the edge of his seat. Get it? On the edge of his seat. I'm sure everybody thought that was hilarious. And our first match of the night, the AEW International Championship, is on the line. Ray Phoenix still able to compete tonight. Luckily was okay from Sunday night at Wrestle Dream being taken out of that 4-way number one contenders tag team match. Ray Phoenix defended against Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks, and I forgot real quick. Dynamite tonight was live from Stockton, California at the Stockton Arena. Our commentators, Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Taz. Sorry about that. In this first match, Ray Phoenix and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. They had a really good match, and it's Ray Phoenix defeating Nick Jackson to retain. I thought this was a really good match. There were some points where I thought it was going to be Nick Jackson winning the International Championship, but Ray Phoenix retaining. I'll give it 3 out of 5 ring bells. Really good match, I thought, to start off Dynamite this week. And speaking of the Young Bucks, they are the new number 1 contenders for the AEW Tag Team Championships, and they will be taking on FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler once again for the AEW World Tag Team titles. And then we have Griff Garrison in the ring, ready for action, and his opponent is someone we have not seen on AEW television since June, and it is none other than Wardlow making his return to AEW Dynamite. Wardlow, of course, made quick work of Griff Garrison, defeating him pretty quick. Very short match, just pretty much a squash match. I'll just give this one 2 out of 5 ring bells. And good to see Wardlow back. And Griff Garrison lately has been competing on Ring of Honor, on Honor Club, has been involved with Maria Kanellis as of late. And now that his former partner, Brian Pillman Jr., has now been signed by WWE, and the AEW World Trios Championships are on the line. The Acclaimed Daddy Ass and Billy Gunn are defending against Kip Sabian, the Butcher, and the Blade. Pretty good match here. Nothing real special though. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn retain. I'll give this one 2 out of 5 ring bells. And also, earlier I missed this. We saw Adam Cole visiting Roderick Strong, and the Kingdom were there earlier in the day. And at first, I guess TBS had some trouble connecting. At first, I thought it could have been maybe my TV or something. The sound was real low. Had some trouble hearing it. So then, just a little bit after, they did replay it with better sound. And let me just say, this one, Adam Cole going to visit Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong still in his wheelchair, and he gives Adam Cole a kind of scooter little thing. And then Roderick has him move his furniture around and stuff. And let me just say, I did not really care for this too much. And definitely did not think that this was as good or as funny as the videos that MJF and Adam Cole have done together. Just really didn't care for this video too much. And then we see MJF in the back say he can't do this. And then, well, after actually, we have the Camden Billy Gunn in the background, and then Max Caster start to rub the shoulders of the AEW World Champion. But then MJF tells him to stop, tells him he's been stalking him, and then he says he can't do that anymore. And he goes to call his partner Adam Cole, but then he just gets a busy signal. Interesting to see what's going to happen there next. In tag team action, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega get the win this time tonight. They defeat Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita, representing the Don Callis family. After the match, Don Callis, who was on commentary during the match, gets up upset while Jericho and Omega are in the ring celebrating their victory. And then suddenly Powerhouse Hobbs appears behind them and attacks both Jericho and Omega, takes both of them out. Konosuke Takeshita gets back in the ring and joins in. And at this time, they go to tape Kenny Omega to the ropes. And they have a little problem with the duct tape. At this time, the one side of it doesn't want to stay, and Kenny Omega's one wrist ends up loosening kinda and breaking away from the ropes. Unfortunately, the duct tape on live TV unfortunately didn't want to work and do the right thing for business. So finally, Konosuke Takeshita and Powerhouse Hobbs hold Omega while Don Callis hits Kenny Omega with the chair. And this part, I did not like the chair shot to the head. And even Excalibur brought up about not wanting to see it. And that is one thing that you really don't want to see in the business anymore. And that is unprotected chair shots to the head. So that part wasn't too good. Not even having the chance to get the hands up. And actually before, when they had Omega tied to the ropes, Jericho sacrificed himself, getting in the way of Omega, shielding him with his body, and then Powerhouse Hobbs hitting Jericho with the chair in the ribs. And making her AEW debut is the new timeless Toni Storm, who's kind of like an old actress, kind of from Hollywood. She defeats Sky Blue. Pretty good match. I'll give it 2 out of 5 ring bells. And then we have the rated R superstar Adam Copeland making his Dynamite debut tonight. And he explains why he came to AEW. And he calls out, like he talked about during the press conference or the post-media scrum last Sunday night. His one daughter, Lyric, told him to have fun with Uncle Jay. And then he calls out Uncle Jay, of course, Christian Cage, and he tells them he wants them to team again to take on teams like FTR and the Young Bucks. And Christian gives him a hug, and then it gets cut off by TBS, but he says go, and then that's when it gets cut off. I'm guessing that he told them something that was not very nice, not TV friendly anyway, you wouldn't think. And then Christian leaves. And that was tonight's AEW Dynamite on TBS, which I thought was a pretty good episode. And other than the unprotected chair shot to the head from Don Callis to Kenny Omega, and the Adam Cole and Ryder Strong video, those were the only things I really didn't care for about the show. The rest of it was still very good, coming off of Wrestle Dream last Sunday night. Also, Edge will be appearing on AEW Collision this Saturday night, and Tuesday night on a special episode of AEW Dynamite titled Tuesday, Adam Copeland will be making his AEW in-ring debut against Luchasaurus. I'm looking forward to that match. And also, AEW has really loaded next week's Tuesday episode of Dynamite, and of course NXT has as well, with John Cena and Paul Heyman. And in a little bit of news real quick, Impact Wrestling has added Will Ospreay versus Josh Alexander coming up at the October 22nd tapings. That is the Bound for Glory Fallout, which that match, I guess you could say, could be almost worth the price of admission alone. I'm sure that would be a very good match, and looking forward to seeing that one. And that is about all the news I have for tonight right here on 360 Wrestling Fanatic, episode 509. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Remember, if you have any questions or comments, you can also leave your feedback for AEW Wrestle Dream still from last Sunday and tonight's Dynamite right here in the comment section, whether you're listening here on Spreaker, YouTube, or whichever podcast app website you listen to on. If they have a comment section, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, the newest episode of 360 Anything Goes, episode 9, will be available. I'm talking all about Chucky the series, which season 3 premiered tonight on USA and Sci-Fi. Had to DVR that while Dynamite was on tonight. But I did watch it, and if you want, check out the new episode of Anything Goes tomorrow, talking all about Chucky the series. And I hope to have a new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic tomorrow night, talking about Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor. Even though sometimes I don't do Thursday nights, depends how I'm feeling. And also we'll be back tomorrow morning though for the Thursday episode of Anything Goes. So that's all for tonight's episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Thank you once again for tuning in, everyone. Hope everyone had a great Wednesday. Hope everyone enjoyed AEW Dynamite tonight. And remember, this Saturday coming up is the WWE Fastlane Premium Live event. I hope to have a live episode Saturday night talking all about Fastlane and AEW Saturday Collision. So stay tuned for that. Thank you once again, everyone, for tuning in. And until tomorrow morning, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.